Hi everyone, and thank you for joining our Engineering Student Life and Diversity presentation today at the March Virtual Open House. Student life is a very important component of the undergraduate experience, and we're looking forward to sharing experiences, groups, and teams that you can get involved in at your time as a Waterloo engineering student. Before we begin the session, I just want to remind you that if you do have any questions, you're welcome to submit questions using the Q&A tab on the right side of your screen. And you're always welcome to email enginfo@uwaterloo.ca for any questions that we might not be able to answer during today's session. Thank you for joining, and let's learn all about student life at Waterloo Engineering. So before we begin, I also want to take this moment to do a territorial acknowledgement. The University of Waterloo acknowledges that much of our work takes place on the traditional territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. Our main campus is situated on the Haldimand Tract, the land promised to the Six Nations that includes 6 miles on each side of the Grand River. And our active work towards reconciliation takes place across our campuses through research, learning, teaching, and community building, and is centralized within UWaterloo's Office of Indigenous Relations. Even though we're not meeting on our campus today, it is important to take the moment to acknowledge the land that we do occupy. So if you're curious to know more about the land that you occupy, you're welcome to visit nativeland.ca for more information. Thank you for sharing that moment with me. Today, I'm joined by 3 exceptional students who are Waterloo engineering students themselves, representing 3 different programs and various types of involvement. So I have Brielle, I have Charmaine, and Yonael, who is with me in just a couple of minutes, who will be sharing their exciting experiences with you all. But quickly, I'm Patricia. I'm the Marketing and Undergraduate Recruitment Specialist here at Waterloo Engineering, supporting all recruitment efforts for future students who are interested in looking to pursue an engineering degree here at UWaterloo. So just briefly, I'm going to share a couple general information regarding to student life and ways you can learn more about what exists here for you as a Waterloo engineering student. But first, we have an amazing initiative that is led by our student ambassador team. So if you are looking to connect with our students, maybe more on a program side, or if you want to learn more about their experiences in student life as well, you're able to book a N-Chat, which is a one-to-one virtual meeting, typically anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes in length, to talk about anything really, but hopefully you can use these chats to learn more about student life as well. And then one great way to learn about our clubs and teams, everything our students are doing outside the classroom, you can of course follow us on social media. So what does student life look like at Waterloo? Waterloo is definitely very much known for their strong academic programs, the fact that our students are graduating with 2 years of co-op experience. But we do also want to make sure that future students are aware that student life isn't about studying, and that there's more to do than just focusing on academics and taking on co-op experiences. And of course, that's a big part of the undergrad experience. But it is really important to build friendships, be a part of community, explore the campus and the city of Waterloo during these 4 to 5 years. And when it comes to student life, there are no restrictions of what you can choose to get involved in. If I'm being honest, it's not a mandatory requirement of undergrad at all. But if you are to talk with their students, they will tell you that if they didn't join that group or go to that event or get involved in a specific community, their experience as a Waterloo engineering student wouldn't be the same. So what could getting involved look like? As I mentioned, there are so many groups and clubs and teams and initiatives that do exist on campus. There are many opportunities within our faculty. So if you are looking to be connected with other engineering students, if you want to contribute to the overall student community, there are definitely lots of opportunities within the faculty. A couple here are mentioned, like getting involved as an ambassador, being part of the Iron Warrior newspaper, being involved in a musical, for instance, or advocating as a woman in engineering student on the Women in Engineering Committee. Outside of engineering, there are also over 200 clubs to get involved in. This could range from athletics to music groups to advocacy-based groups. There are, again, so many opportunities to get involved, and we do hope that you do consider making this part of your undergraduate experience. Something that our engineering students are definitely known for being involved in, or something that many are interested in trying out during their undergrad experience, is getting involved with design teams. There's over 20 to join. The myth of that you have to have like a plethora of technical experiences to be an asset to this team is definitely a myth. Anybody is welcome to get involved. You can work with the team to decide what your commitment's going to look like, but it really is a great way to build your soft skills, build your technical skills, meet some wonderful individuals, all that are working towards a specific project, a specific initiative. And some design teams can include, concrete toboggan, or rocketry team, Fermi Electric, steel bridge team, and many, many more. And not only will this support your growth, but it can help with some networking opportunities, or maybe you'll land yourself an opportunity at an international competition. And then something I do also want to highlight, a very important priority for our students, for our staff, and our faculty, is our emphasis in diversity, inclusion, and equity as well. And we've got some incredible groups that work so hard to create a very inclusive and safe community for students who identify as our women identifying, our Black students, or Indigenous students, or students who might be part of the LGBTQ2S+ community as well. So we've got Women in Engineering, we've got the National Society of Black Engineers, we've got ENGIqueers, and we also have the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, or known as ACES for short. So on that note, hopefully you learned a little bit more about student life as a whole, but I think the best part is about to come, where we get to hear from our own current students. So on that note, I would love to invite Brielle to the virtual stage, who'll be sharing about her experiences being involved as a student leader and immersing herself in all the awesome opportunities that exist here at Waterloo Engineering. Brielle, come on up and let's hear from you.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, my name is Brielle Chenier. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm in mechatronics engineering, class of 2025. So I'll start by talking a little bit about my experience at Waterloo. I've been involved in a number of different clubs and teams. I'm on Waterloo Aerial Robotics Group. I'll just call it WARG for short. That's one of the design teams at Waterloo, where I'm one of the mechanical technical leads. So that's been a lot of fun. I was also on Engineering Society as a director and commissioner. I helped plan EngHack, which is a hackathon primarily for engineering students at Waterloo. And I'm also outreach commissioner for the spring. I do EngChats, so I speak to students like yourselves and kind of help them choose if Waterloo and how they'll fit into it. And then this is less on the academic side, but I've gotten very involved in rock climbing. I've gotten to meet a lot of cool people that way. So I'd say my most memorable student experience is probably getting my hard hat. I started my experience at Waterloo during COVID, so we didn't have much of our normal orientation, but we did eventually get to get our hard hats, which is the photo on the right there. So that was a very exciting day where with my classmates, we kind of finally felt like real engineering students. I think my top tip for engineering student life is be willing to try new things and also be okay not knowing everything. Waterloo has a ton of really smart people, and there's a lot of really smart people in different areas. So you're not going to know everything, but it's, instead of being intimidated by that, it's a really good chance to learn from your classmates or learn on design teams. And also you're able to teach what you do know. And I think for me, one of the things I tried was hackathons. I did not really know what they were in high school, but some friends brought it up and I tried it and I really enjoyed it. So there's definitely lots of new opportunities. So I'll talk a little bit about WARG, my student design team. So what we do, we build autonomous aircraft. We have 5 different sub-teams. We have the software sub-team, computer vision, business, electrical, and mechanical. I'm obviously on the mechanical team. And for this year's competition, we have to build a drone capable of picking up a 2-kilogram weight. And our drone's only 4 kilograms. So that's obviously a big challenge, trying to make sure that we're picking up something that's half our weight and making everything as light as possible. So the picture on the bottom right there is me and a few of our other mechanical team members putting together our drone, or at least one of our prototypes. And you can see it's pretty big. It's about 1 meter from propeller to propeller. So it's a pretty big challenge, and there's definitely lots of people on our mechanical team involved in many different ways. So at least from the mechanical side, and I was specifically helping design the frame. There's lots of prototyping. So that picture is us prototyping the frame, lots of CAD. We do a lot of work in SolidWorks to kind of figure out how everything will lay out and make sure it works well with the other sub teams. And then we machine our parts and then always improving until we get to competition. And if you are interested in getting involved, you should definitely check out our Discord. That link, if you go to our site, uorg.com, you can join our Discord. You can kind of see what's going on. We have boot camps for all new members where you can kind of do the basics, and we'll make sure and get you prepared to join the team, even if you start with zero experience. So definitely check that out if you're interested. So what I love about Waterloo Engineering. I think the number one thing I love about Waterloo Engineering is the people. I know it's the same in a lot of other programs, but I'll speak specifically for my program. Everyone is super supportive and helping each other. So whether we have like an assignment due or you're just confused in the class, there's always so many people willing to kind of step in, help you. And there's a lot of camaraderie since we all know the classes are going to be very challenging. But because of that, everyone's super interested in helping each other and succeeding together. Another thing I really love is co-op. That was the big reason I chose to go to Waterloo. And because of my design team, I actually got a co-op at an electric aircraft company right now. So there's a lot of real world skills I was able to transfer between them. And that's a really cool opportunity to apply what I'm learning in classes. And I've also enjoyed it because I got to travel and kind of live in a new place, which is definitely a new experience and very fun. And then finally, I really love everyone's passion. I think you'll see it with the other speakers too, but whether it's like on design teams or clubs or like even in rock climbing, and you can see one of those photos, everyone at Waterloo is really passionate about what they do, and it creates a really inspiring environment where you can see like a ton of cool projects being done in lots of different areas. So I'll pass it off to Charmaine.
Thanks, Bria. I actually really like rock climbing too, so that's a fun connection we have. So hi, my name is Charmaine. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm in my last term, graduating April 2022, studying biomedical engineering. So during my experience at Waterloo, I got involved in EngPlay, which I'll get more into the next slide. I'm also part of the UW Orchestra where I play oboe, and they actually have this every term, and it's not just an engineering thing. So any student, like undergrad, masters, even PhD students or professors can join. So it's kind of fun when your oboe partner is actually a tenured professor, but that's how you make new friends. And then also I'm an engineering ambassador. So I did mostly eng chats these past terms. I was also part of a biomechatronics club, which I joined in first year. I had no experience doing that, but it was definitely really fun, and I learned a lot of technical skills. So biomechatronics club is part of one of the design teams, and it's a group that's split into a bunch of smaller projects related to biomedical topics, such as studying gait or 3D printing prosthetic hands. I'm also doing volleyball intramurals, which is pretty fun. And I am also a class social rep this year. One other thing that I'm part of is that I was a leader in engineering orientation weeks for 3 years, and back when it was in person. And I was actually part of the same group as Yanail, which is also the next speaker after this. We were in the light brown group, I believe, with I think Wally as our mascot. So that was fun. So the most memorable student experience moment for me was definitely the class-wide pumpkin carving, which I did last term in October. And it was basically because it was the first time most of the class had actually seen each other in person since COVID happened. So this memory is pretty special to me just because I got to reconnect with my classmates and have fun. One tip I have for engineering student life is to really find your support group. So whether this is many groups or just one group, a support group can really help you go through all the stressful times you have in engineering. where you can study together, relax together, or you can even try new things together. So one of the main reasons why I joined all of these different activities is really just because my friends really wanted to try these too and brought me, and so I did them with them, and we just kept going with it. So even for Eng Play, I was kind of sucked into this because my friends were directing it and they also wrote it, and they told me to come audition. And that was in 2020. So I basically didn't go back because I really liked the community. So a little bit more about Eng Play. We're basically a student production under the Engineering Society EngSoc, where it's typically a play or musical that is directed, written, or performed by engineering students at the university every term. So sometimes we get some non-engineering students as well, and we range with people who have 0 to lots of high school experience being in theater. So yeah, you don't even have to have any experience to be part of this. This term's play is about student housing. It's called Utopiae, A Home Without a House. Can't really say more to that because it's coming up, but I actually helped write this play, and I also helped write and direct last term's play. And yeah, I never had any experience in that either, but it was a really, really cool experience that you get to have. The group is super friendly and welcoming. And if anyone would like to be involved with it, you can look for social media posts on EngSoc, or follow our Instagram, or look at the website that's below. So what I really love about Waterloo Engineering is the sense of community, whether or not it's within your class or the clubs and groups you're part of. So the sense of community is there, where you get to connect with other people. And all of their different interests as well. I'm part of a pretty small class. I have about 60 people in my class. So we're super close because we got through everything together for the past 5 years. So that's why my classmates are definitely another thing that I really love about Waterloo Engineering. We definitely support each other. We try new things together, and school is just so much more enjoyable with them. The third thing I really love about Waterloo Engineering is that it's an environment to try new things. So if you feel that you don't have experience doing something but want to do it, you can definitely try them here. So before Eng Play, as I said, I never really directed, written. I've never acted before. And I got so involved in it in the past 2 years. And even with co-op, you can get multiple terms and of work experience, and you can try different positions and roles to see what you like and you don't like. So that's what I really like about that. So yeah, now I'm going to pass it on to Niall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yanal Debeba. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a third-year systems design engineering student, and I am currently the president of the National Society of Black Engineers. Thank you for the introduction, Charmaine, one of my favorite fellow orientation leaders. So I've been involved in a variety of things since I started at Waterloo. Outside of NISB, I've been part of the Engineering Student Societies Council of Ontario, which is a provincial level organization of engineering students. As part of that group, I did a bunch of research, primarily into equity, diversity, and inclusion. Outside of that, I've also been really involved locally at UW as in the Engineering Society as a class rep, director, commissioner, and orientation leader. In my class, we always have a soccer intramural team. The most common name so far is Never Offside. I can't confirm if that's entirely true, but we try our best. And I've also involved in the UW Energy Network. It's a group of students under WUSA. So it has students from engineering outside of engineering, focused on different kinds of energy. And that's been great for me personally in terms of learning, but a field that I'm really passionate about. In terms of my own student experience moment, one of the things that's always stood out to me is during orientation, your orientation with Charmaine. There's a specific event where you earn your hard hat as an orientation during orientation, but there's a backup in the schedule, so a number of different groups of students were waiting to get their hard hat, and they're starting to get restless. One of the people on our group asked me a question about a specific subset of orientation leaders, and these specific orientation leaders have done a lot of amazing things in their times. And there's a lot of stories that we know as orientation leaders about them. So I started telling this story. right? Every twist, every turn, every exciting moment. And as I told more and more of the story, more and more students started listening in. And I could see more students engaging with the story. I could see every reaction in their face when they laughed, they smiled, they were surprised. And in that moment, I got to kind of have a direct impact on hundreds of people and see and feel that. And I've never really forgotten that moment for as long as my Waterloo career ever since then. One of my most important tips in terms of entering student life is find people or things that make you feel more grounded, more like who you are. There's a lot of competing interests here, whether it be your own, whether it be school, whether it be co-op. And sometimes you can get lost in that. So I think it's always really important to find things in life, the things in your world that make you feel more comfortable as you. And part of what the way that I've been able to do that in my own life is through the National Society of Black Engineers. So we're a university chapter of a large international organization, originally founded in the United States. What we try to do is we try to have an active community dedicated to the academic and professional success of Black engineering students, our fellow students, our community. And part of that means also bringing in opportunities for industry to partner with us to have events with our students. This has been an amazing opportunity for me personally because I've been able to connect with other students, also with similar backgrounds as me. And for context, I grew up in Ethiopia. So again, moving was a big shift as well. So, people understand kind of your background a little bit. It's always a good thing. Some of my favorite people are what you can see in the pictures there with me as well. If you want to get involved, see what we do, see what we've been up to, you can follow our Instagram at nisbe.waterloo. That's where we're most active. We also have a Discord that you can join if you're curious. There's also a newsletter that you can sign up for as well. Now, what I love about Waterloo engineering, there's a little bit of overlap with Brio, but I tried to put in a pretty alliteration. So people, passion, and possibilities. So in terms of people, the people in the pictures with me here have made my experience an incredibly memorable one. On the top left, when I initially started and got involved with the Engineering Society, all of these people have been incredibly involved, incredibly active in their community and trying to do things. Bottom left is my wonderful class, my community that I've been through thick and thin with, particularly in systems design. You have the same group of people and you're really close. So it's a really wonderful experience. Right underneath, there's my fellow NISB exec, Yasmin Ahmed and Deepo Alao. They've been in huge parts of my journey as well and influencing me and mentoring me. On the right, you can see Charmaine and a few other orientation leaders with our homemade Waterloo engineering Wally there as well. It was an amazing week of engaging with first years and really connecting with the community and helping build, and support the future of that. Top right, some of my classmates during our first group project and first year that we were finishing up, we were hyping ourselves up. And at the bottom right, some of my close friends from my residence. In terms of passion, everyone that you see in these pictures is incredibly passionate about the things that they do, the things that they work on, the time that they spend on the things that they care about, right? Whether it be Charmaine and EngPlay, Brielle and the design team, everyone cares about the things that they do, and I love seeing that in the people around me. That's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And finally, possibilities. As mentioned before, co-op, as well as clubs and student design teams give you an immense opportunity to explore the world, right? Explore as much as you want to, explore infinitely, because there are infinite opportunities for you to succeed. And I hope to see you succeed as well.
Wonderful. That was super inspiring, super amazing to hear each one of your experiences. I loved hearing the connections that each one of you had. And it's so wonderful that no matter if it was a technical team, a creative team, or a group that supports equity deserving students on campus, that each one of you has found your home in various ways here. So before we conclude today's session, I'm going to invite all of our tremendous speakers back to the virtual stage for one final question with regards to student life. Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody, and great job on sharing your stories. To conclude, I'm going to ask each one of you one important question with regards to student life. So Yonel, I'm going to go with you first. And my question for you is, how is your work-life balance? Because if I look at the list of things you've done, it's quite, it's an exhausted list of opportunities. So how have you handled your studies, being immersed in curricular activities, co-op, social life, and more? Basically, what is your secret?
Great question. Totally fair question, given everything. One of the hardest things that you have to understand, I think, is trade-offs, right? And if I spend more time on this, what am I giving up? And deciding what kind of that means for you and what you're willing to accept and not accept. And part of it as well is if you're working in a team, which tends to happen a lot in systems and extracurriculars, right? You can be honest with your team and ask for their support. And that's part of the people thing. There are such amazing people who are down to help you when you need it the most. And I think that's an important part of that, and figuring out what you need and who to ask.
That's incredible. I was like, somebody's going to take some notes here of the advice and tips you're all going to share, but I love that leaning on your support network definitely helps with the work-life balance. So amazing. Thank you so much. Charmaine, over to you next. What would you say is definitely the most rewarding part about being involved in clubs and teams?
Well, I would definitely say that the people is just the most rewarding part, just meeting new people, making new connections with them on like different levels, not just academically, but like maybe you'll connect with them through the arts or through music or through any other community or passion that you're part of. So I think that's just the most rewarding part.
And Charmaine, as you are graduating in just a couple months here, less than a couple months, are you going to say that you've left with some lifelong friends?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing, amazing. And our final question over to you, Bria. To conclude our wholesome presentation today is, what advice would you pass along to future students who chose to listen to this webinar with regards to getting involved in student life?
I think we've all talked about how we've gotten involved in a lot of things. And I think when you're starting, if there's a club or a team, even if you're like, I don't know if I have the experience, but it looks interesting, just go and show up at a meeting, sign up for like the extracurricular, and worst case, like you never have to do it again after that term, but you could really end up really enjoying it.
Amazing. I love that. Putting yourself out there and not being afraid of the opportunities that are in front of you. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all so much for sharing your stories. You've all probably inspired so many people to join your specific groups or to at least know more about it. So thank you again. Thanks to our listeners. And we do hope our future students are looking forward to what student life at Waterloo Engineering will entail once you do get here. Thanks again, and we'll connect very soon.